idea there. But
Around
you could
here,
probably
this one's called Carmel Creeper.
What? This one?
The process.
This one. Oh, this one. Carmel Creeper.
Carmel Creepers.
Yeah.
Well, you got the creeping crud.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, maybe that's it.
This was head for life.
Last time we were out here measuring geopathic stress, now we're out here picking herbs.
Right.
That's right.
What are they going to have us doing next in the American Academy of Biological Dentistry?
This is a great place, Carmel.
Here's one that makes you bigger, and there's another one that makes you small. And there's another one that doesn't do anything at all.
Fennel. So right here is about 3 or 4 or 5 that can be used pretty readily. This is like yellow dock, Rumex crispus, homeopathically seen it used it a lot.
Detoxer, right?
And good for ladybugs.
Yeah, ladybugs like it. What you often see it used for, you often use the root. This is like you said, sorrel soup. This is a close relative of sorrel. Only sorrel's a more refined variety, so it's not quite so bitter. Yeah, you get it when it's young. It's too old. Probably well, right here might still not be very bitter. Lots of oxalic acid. The root's used. Lots of times you think about using it for a source of iron, like a hematinic during pregnancy and so forth. It's also a pretty strong laxative if you use it fresh. So it can have that effect. So lots of times you can use it in pregnancy, give you a source of iron, and be a little bit laxative effect if they tend to get pregnant tend to get constipated during pregnancy. That one over there is like, I'm not totally, this is a malva. Yeah, and I'm not a botanist, so I may misidentify these slightly, but I hope you don't go out using what I tell you here just as total gospel, but it's going to be close. This is, feel it's very soft. The only thing I know it's used for is as an emollient. So for like you can put it in your bath and make the skin very soft. You can also use it as a poultice to decrease irritation and dermatitis and other things like that.
What's it called?
Malva, common mallow it's also called. Malva.
You can
But,
eat the leaves too.
yeah, I think you can eat the young leaves too.
Doesn't mallow or
If you just
have
pick one and
antifungal properties?
I don't know
Or
that.
is it marshmallow?
Marshmallow, yeah, the marshmallow. This is mallow.
Produces a little
Malva,
nut-like.
called mallow.
They said mallow.
Ed,
It is mallow.
it produces a little nut
Oh yeah.
on it, yeah.
Good. We got somebody now. I got somebody to correct me too.
Is this fennel here?
Yeah. Here's here of all the things you've ever heard. This is probably one of the better aphrodisiacs around.
Oh, Ed, yeah, listen to this one.
Gil? Is it Gil?
Carol?
Fennel.
Fennel.
Fennel, yeah. What do you
Well, I'm not positive that's fennel. Yeah,
Taste
you
it.
That mild licorice flavor,
Chew it
Yeah.
and see.
anise flavor, so it's definitely related.
Yeah, it's either fennel or anise. I can't tell, but you got the two. You got fennel and anise that you can take a look at, and the two smell and taste the same. And
Fennel and anise?
yeah, and I'm not a botanist, but if I had to say, I'd guess that fennel.
This bush is going to be gone after this evening.
Yeah, well, it's like an estrogenic effect it has with it.
aphrodisiac?
Oh,
Is
my
that
gosh,
what that is?
estrogenic,
Yeah,
not a
it has
testosterone.
but it has an aphrodisiac effect all the way back to like Gerard and all these old herbalists talk about this as being one of the most potent aphrodisiacs ever. I've never tried it, so I can't tell you. But I just heard about it recently, so I'm going to try it.
Aphrodisiac for the female, though, right? Not for the male.
I know why he smokes it.
It's a spermicide for the
breast
male.
are going to hurt anymore yet.
Yeah, homeopathically, that's enough for the world.
Hey, you just have to wear it next to you. You don't have to take it. Hey, it's energetic medicine.
Hey,
I'll put it in my pocket.
he's going to give you breast tenderness by morning.
Yeah, well,
Carol,
there you go.
Carol, I want to take and verify that was fennel.
Yeah, fennel's a good herb.
Hey, I'm your share.
Well, he would only take it occasionally.
This one right here is the plantain. Very good for ulcers. High in mucilage. You can use it as a tea, and you can also, the Indians take it and use it as called a band-aid, in that they just take it and just macerate it with their teeth a little bit, wrap it on a cut, and it heals wounds pretty fast.
The
And
leaves? The leaves?
The leaves are used, yeah. The psyllium that you hear about, psyllium seed and all that stuff, is a close relative of this, but it's a specialized one that they take the husks off, and the seeds and the husks are used. So it's a
What about
psyllium.
the common foxtail? Does that have any value?
I don't know, but I don't know if you have quackgrass in your yard or not. In Oregon, I know it grows in California because I had it when I had my garden in the Bay
It
Area.
has it all around this whole office.
Yeah. So quackgrass, the roots of quackgrass are real good.
Dennis hanging in the front yard.
What is the thing that Emerson
Dennis
said?
in their office.
A weed is a plant whose virtues are still yet undiscovered.
Right, haven't been discovered. Right.
Right, I like that one.
Usually growing outside your door are 10 plants that'll probably cure most of the problems that you're trying to deal with. Some of them haven't been discovered yet, but I mean, they're probably
We're stepping on the New Age pharmacy here.
Can you imagine we got a group of dentists out here looking at the grass? I love it.
Here's some more of the malva, more so. This is better. This is actually more of the mallow or malva that I'm used to. This is a little bit bigger plant, easier to identify. So I don't usually see it so long. That one would be cool.
This is in here
This
too,
is
right?
mallow, yeah, malva. Yeah.
Good.
This is a real interesting one here because we've heard so much about ginkgo and all of its effects on memory and so forth. This is now this I don't really know. This is probably Vinca major or Vinca minor. It looks like minor to me. Is it major? Okay. So the Vinca minor is just the same looking plant. More prostate grows instead of gets up, climbs up pretty high. Vinca minor is a smaller leaf. I didn't know if it's just bigger here in California. It's just, but the minor is used for headaches and loss of memory and anything associated with blockage in blood flow to the brain.
Do you use the flower or do you use the
They
leaf?
use the
For the
leaf
stem.
is used. Yeah.
You squint like Clint Eastwood.
Yes. He's not.
You just don't have
He's
the...
nearby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It's when I'm thinking hard, I have to squint.
Here, aphrodisiac.
Thanks.
Increases estrogen formation. Really?
Yeah, poison oak is around. I went to the drugstore the other day to find some things off the shelf, and I noticed all the Caladrill was being distributed. So
I mean, it forms like little mammary glands, right?
Doesn't Caladrill have mercury in it?
Calamine.
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 Yeah, I think it did. Now, I just went over there to look for something else, and I saw the calamine.
Still grinding?
Yeah, well, if you've ever walked through them, you know that.
Oh, yeah.
They get their name Devil's
Iridium,
Farm.
yeah, right. Okay, now, if I'm not mistaken, this is poplar, so there's probably other botanists here. One of the things that Dan mentioned was frills. You mentioned, Vaughn, about non-polluted propolis.
Yes.
Right.
Hard to find in the
Right.
United States.
Right, it is, because what bees seal up their hive with is propolis, and what they usually get is from poplar buds. In the early spring, when these come out, this bee laid down here. But the bees will come over and take the sap, the goo off of these things, off the buds here. It's real sticky, and they'll take it back to their hive and chew it up, and they'll stick it into the holes of the hive, protect it. Bees also, when they're collecting that land on the highway, the land on the blacktop, they collect all the stuff off there too.
This does smell like propolis.
Yeah,
smells
it
like it,
is.
too.
You can actually
What's
take.
the Latin name of this?
This is a poplar bud, Tremulodes something. Now, if you want to taste something that tastes like propolis, you can take the bud off of one of these things, just chew it a little bit. It has one of the constituents is salicin, which is a derivative of like a salicylic acid precursor. It has an aspirin-like component.
So what do they use this for then? Headaches and things like that?
Use it for the same thing as use propolis for.
I see.
Yeah, anodyne. You can use it for
Antiseptic properties
antiseptic,
too?
yeah.
Yeah.
Antibacterial properties and so on. But so right out here you can probably use it like myrrh. So you got just pack it in your tooth if you got a cavity, you don't know what to get rid of. Tell them to go out in their yard and get something. You don't have time tonight.
Then they're gonna
Come
really
over and see it. Yeah, it'd be a local. You could pack it right in there. Pack it down in your tooth.
They're gonna be packing you right in the cell.
Yeah. Yeah, you think
Go
so?
outside your office and take 3 leaves and pack it in there, come back and see
Yeah,
tomorrow.
let's see what else is over here. Oh yeah, a little bit more over here. This is a real common one, so let's see this one. Well, I wrote down everything that's here, so I know what.
Say there's timber rattlesnakes out here?
Here's the one everybody knows, and probably one of the snake if anybody's allergic to snakes. Right down there.
There is.
Yeah.
Garter snake.
But the dandelions used, that's probably one that if you want to give a patient, if you want to get a good diuretic effect, the leaves of that dandelion work better than most diuretics. And the flowers are good too, although they don't have as much diuretic
The leaves?
effect.
The leaves?
Yeah,
you
the
said?
leaves. probably about 6 or 7 leaves
Norman, did you
will
get a
get you
picture
the
of the
same
snake?
dosage, the same therapeutic effect as about
Now you went under the
40 milligrams of Lasix.
There you go.
Wonderful.
He was just resting
What
here.
is that right there, Bob?
Snake. This is the dandelion that we talk about. And
Dandelion.
about 7 leaves there will give you about the same effect as about 40 milligrams of Lasix. Now, maybe not the first dose, but you take it 2 or 3 times. You'll
7 dandelion leaves?
get roughly, yeah.
Make a tea?
You make a tea or eat them fresh. When it gets to be this size, when it's already gone to seed, it tends to get a little bitter, and most people aren't going to eat them. But you can buy them in Safeway, like when they're real fresh. You have to sell them there. You get a diet, you get that effect. You could use the root and make a tea from it too. It's just that if you start to process a little more, you lose some of the potency.
Are
You don't get
those
as strong a
little
diuretic effect.
airborne seeds with the, the parachute, are they useful for anything? I mean,
On this?
Yeah.
Starting new
I
plants.
don't know,
I
yeah.
know that.
They're kind of glowing.
There's another one that's called false dandelion. Its botanical name is hypericium that you can confuse with this, but it still has pretty much the same liver properties. It doesn't have the same diuretic properties. But
Does
it's
this have liver properties?
Oh yeah, this is a real good liver. This will thin the bile. It's a good cholagogue. Really improve digestion quite a bit. Also, it's good for basically for hypertension because it works as a diuretic. Also works as a cholagogue, so it stops the, improves the portal congestion. So it improves the flow through the heart, and therefore it reduces blood pressure. And that way, along with a decrease in the liver, and also then it improves diuretic activity through that. So it drops blood pressure from several different mechanisms.
It's a kidney liver. It's a kidney liver.
Kidney, liver, heart. You can call this a heart remedy because if you have, say, congestive heart failure and it may be due to a portal congestion or something like that, just a backflow and you're not getting good pumping, you can use this as a heart remedy too. It depends on what the mechanism is and how you approach it. So,
Well, and they talk about cardiac glucosides.
yeah.
Now, what property of the glucosides gives it cardiac function? Or why
Well-
do they name them that way?
Oh, well, I don't know I don't really know how
And
they
there's a
break
lot of
down
different
which ones
kind
are
of
cardiacs.
glucosides.
Yeah, there are a lot of glycosides that are that way, Crataegus and so on, but they all have different names. Lots of times the name is attributed to called that plant, like Crataegus maybe will have Crataegus and that's a cardiac glycoside, but it doesn't appear in many other plants exactly. Sometimes there's a crossover. So I don't know the exact chemical differentiation, a category of them. Like there's some foxglove growing over here. And,
You saw some foxglove?
yeah. There's some foxglove.
This, let's say, as a homeopathic, would it be listed as dandelion? What was it?
Taraxacum.
Taraxacum.
Taraxacum?
Yeah.
Dandelion?
It's in a lot of remedies.
Yeah, most all the homeopathics listed under the botanical name. So if you have a book that lists almost every plant that's an herb book is called the Herb Book by John Lust. And in there it's got just about every blasted plant there is listed there. It's hard to find one that's not except for mention.
Does it have the English name, the Latin
Yeah,
name?
it has on the English. It has a good index, and that's why I recommend that book to a lot of just beginners because it's
You
just a
guys
good
sell that
reference
at
book.
Eclectic?
No, you can buy it most of the time at a health food store,
Yeah.
about $5. John Lust.
John,
John
yeah.
Lust. Just
Really
called the Herb
real
Book.
common.
Yeah, he's one of the people that brought naturopathic medicine to America.
Yes, I'm-
This is what I would call Scotch broom, but it's probably some cultivar of that because it doesn't look like the wild stuff that grows in Oregon. But anyways, the flowers are very aromatic, and this is probably used in some of the I'll pull one of these leaves off here.
It's called what now?
Scotch broom.
Didn't they just make a
Scope-
discovery about this the last
mustard.
couple of years about another property that this had? I can't remember what
Might
it
be.
was.
It contains spartine, and which is this is a cardiac stimulant and also good for uterine hemorrhages and so forth. But it's used that Weiss book talks about this a lot and gives some very good indications for how to use it. One book that I'll talk about in a minute when we get back and show you.
How does this differ from mustard? Does mustard look this way too?
Well, mustard's that stuff over there. See that yellow?
The yellow blossoms.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Low underground.
Quite different. And this, although in American botanical medicine or even current literature you hear about this being more toxic and not to use it, but Weiss talks about it not being toxic hardly at all and a very good cardiac stimulant. So it might have more applications. All right, well, let's go on for another couple hours, but let's head back and then